Hello, all you preppers out there in Prepperland. There are certain things that preppers do that could easily get them killed. And I've come down to 9 of them. And I'm going to go through this list of these, stick through this, take notes. Hopefully you don't do these things. And this is going to count down to the number 1, which is probably the biggest mistake preppers make. Let's jump right into it. Number 9, buying every gadget. And truth be told, this guy does that all the time. It's something I try not to do, but I claim it's for the channel to show you these things. But in reality, how many things do you really need? You just need the basic stuff to be able to get by and live. So what's the problem with having extra gadgets? All that money could be spent on probably food or something that is useful. So you know what? Don't give into every single gadget. Number 8, prepackaged survival food. And I'm certainly not saying don't buy prepackaged, freeze-dried survival food. It's really good stuff. However, it's very, very expensive stuff. Do you understand that canned food will last indefinitely as well? It's already prepared. Don't even need water for the canned food. And it's a fraction of the price. I find that some of the freeze-dried stuff is 5 times, if not even 10 times more than the canned food. So buy some freeze-dried stuff. You will need it, for like a bug-out bag, get-home bag, etc., or even have a little bit extra too. But you would be much smarter in simply buying lots and lots and lots of canned food. Number 7, believing everything you're told. I really do love and enjoy talking with my prepping community. It's a fantastic thing. But I will tell you, out of all the communities that you find on YouTube, this is probably the biggest one you're going to find. Well, I'm going to use the words conspiracy theories. Now, I know if something's really happening, it's not a conspiracy theory, but you also know there's a lot of conspiracy theories out there. So why shouldn't we give into this? Why shouldn't we talk about this? We should talk about actionable intelligence of things that are happening. We should. But I find that people want to talk about the conspiracy theories and focus over there instead of focusing on the thing they should be doing, and that's preparing. How do you prepare for these things? How do you get ready for what's coming? Don't simply just talk about it and get all excited, but use your head in logical sense as far as actually preparing for what might come. Number 6, talking too much. Are you one of those chatty Cathys? Do you just love talking to people? I'm a social guy. I love talking to people. And you don't have to go up to someone and say, hey, by the way, I'm a prepper, to get yourself in trouble. Simply talking about certain things can get you in trouble as far as prepping goes. Now, there's nothing wrong with having, people of a like mind, other preppers in your group, in your community. You should. But when you just blab it to everyone, understand there's a lot of people out there who are not preppers. And when crap hits the fan, they know who is, and that'd be you. So they're going to be coming to your doorstep to try to, take your food or cause problems. Number 5, deciding to be the lone wolf. Are you that lone wolf? In reality, of course, to each their own. I'm a social guy, but some people like to be on their own, then that's fine. Well, is it? I mean, think about this. You're not going to be able to, be awake 24 hours a day. You can't sleep with one eye open, and you need other people to keep watch. I mean, at the very least, you may have to head out to go fetch a Bambi for dinner, or possibly to go to your garden, or whatever the case may be. And, if nobody's watching your castle, then suddenly your castle becomes somebody else's castle. At the very least, have a prepping community, people with different skills and stuff so you can help with each other. I'm not saying they have to live with you and eat your corned beef hash. I'm not saying that. But having a community around you, as a community, this is how it's done in third world countries, by the way. They'll help each other out, keeping watch, etc. And that way you actually have better protection as a group. Number 4, come on, everybody, let's bug out. I find this one attribute is so romanticized in the prepping community. Oh, you know what? I can't wait for the day so I don't have to work my 9-to-5 job and I can just live out in the woods and bug out. And I think it's way too romanticized, overpopularized. People love to think of this. I think because they don't want their 9-to-5 job or the rigmaroles of simply just paying bills, whatever the case may be. But I will tell you right now, there are times and places to bug out. If your castle is on fire, you're not going to stay. I mean, you're going to die if you stay. So you have to bug out. There are times where it does happen. We're seeing this happening right now in LA. So what do? Well, you know what? You have plans to bug out, have some gear bags, go bags, whatever the case may be, but you fortify your castle and make sure it's all set and fit. Don't romanticize in the woods, because what's going to happen is you're going to die in the woods. Number 3, buying cheap crap. We all know that today's market is flooded with cheap crap. Just people want to spend as little as possible, and I get that. There's not a lot of money going around right now. But when you buy something that's cheap, it's not going to last you anyway. Here's what I do. I try to shop local, I really do. So I go to my local store, and I find some kind of prepping gear I think I need to have, and I want to buy. I think I need to have, I need to have it. And I want to buy this. I go to Amazon. Do I buy it from Amazon? No, not necessarily. I mean, obviously I do buy stuff on Amazon on occasion, but I try to buy shop local. And if I look at that item on Amazon and look at this number of stars it has, there are reviews, sometimes thousands of reviews that tell you this is great or this is a piece of junk and not worth it. And I will tell you, shopping local, this has saved my hiney so many times because I'm like, I love this gear. I'm paying a little bit more because I'm shopping local, but is it worth it? And I want to buy it. I was like, nope. Need to check Amazon. I go to Amazon. Oh yeah, this is not worth it at all. Even though it's local, it can still be very crappy. So make sure you buy really good stuff that's going to last. Number 2, you rely way too much on your gear. You have to have your gear, obviously. Again, don't be a gearhead and buying every single gadget, but there are certain essential basic gear items you absolutely should have. Of course you should have. So how can you not rely on it too much? I think what the problem is most people want to be the armchair prepper. I bought my stove in case I need to cook food. I've got my canned food. I'm good to go, right? No, you need to practice with it. You need to train with it. You need to drill with it. You need to put it to the test. There's absolutely nothing worse than finding yourself out in the field, metaphorically speaking, crap hits the fan, and realize that piece of gear doesn't work for you, or you don't know how to use it, or you need other parts to make it work. Don't simply just rely on the gear itself specifically to save your butt. It's not going to. You knowing how to use the gear effectively and training and drilling with it, whatever that gear is, by the way, is what's going to save your life. And number 1, we focus way too narrow. People say all the time you can't focus on every single scenario, and that's obviously absolutely true. But I find that people focus too narrow, and that's the problem. I only focus on an EMP. I only focus on a nuclear event. I only focus on a local disaster, like maybe you're in a tornado area. Too narrow is the problem. You need to be able to be, here's the key, adaptable. And the only way to be adaptable to every scenario, practically every scenario, is you try to brainstorm and think of every possible thing that could happen to you in your house, or even bugging out. Like, again, maybe there's a wildfire, a forest fire taking your house down. Thinking of every scenario. Now, you're right. Nobody can practice for every single scenario, but the more adaptable you are, the more you spread yourself out looking at every scenario, the greater the chances you're going to survive whatever does come to you in your house. And it's really funny. I have people say all the time, oh, you preppers, I can't afford all that stuff. I can't afford to prep. Yes, you can. I mean, let's not even talk about inflation. You can't afford not to prep right now. But practicing and drilling for these things costs nothing. It costs brainstorming. It costs you simply walking around. And I think that simply people are saying that's an excuse for laziness. I don't want to prep, so therefore I'm going to say, oh, I can't afford it. Yes, you can afford it. It costs nothing to train and drill and practice. Go through scenarios, write things down on paper. That's what we should be doing. That's what we all should be doing to prepare for all the different possible scenarios of things that are coming. Because I will tell you right now, obviously things are coming. Economic crash, maybe an EMP, World War III. We don't know which one's going to hit us or which one's going to hit us first in this series of events. So we want to look at every single scenario and obviously prepare for every single thing we possibly can. I love you guys. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate you being here. We'll see you next time.